Okay, so excuse me, bear with me. Let's make a small granny square. I was going to do this live, but that would entail me figuring out the live thing again, and I'll do that another time, but I will post this as is. Okay, so mini granny square to add to my gratitude blanket. I always choose my colors at random based on just what I've done before. So what I'm going to pop in here, I'm going to do yellow, blue, white, I think. So this is just how I do a granny square. There are a few variations, but nothing major. Hopefully you can see my hands okay. Bit of fluff on that. So I made a magic loop or an adjustable loop, and I'm going to chain 3 and then crochet 2 double crochets into the ring, chain 2, and then I'm going to crochet 3 double crochet into the ring. Just tighten that loop a little bit. Another chain 2 and 3 double crochet into the ring. Gosh, it is so humid today. I don't want to turn the fan on because it will drown out my voice. But gosh, it's hot. Okay, and that's 3 double crochet into the ring, chain 2 and 3 double crochet into the ring, and just tighten off that ring, and then chain 2, and then I'm just gonna slip stitch join into the 3rd chain of your starting chain. Now that's your first square. There are different ways of finishing off with the slip stitch join. I've recently discovered the invisible or blind slip stitch join, which does make way neater joins, especially if you are changing colors in rounds or rows. But for these little granny squares, it doesn't really matter. The joins are not noticeable because of the way that the design is. So all I'm doing for my mini granny squares is a very simple basic slip stitch join. It's not super neat, but that really doesn't matter for these purposes. Lost my scissors again. So I'm just going to snip that, and I'm going to fasten it off like this. Again, it's not super neat, but we're not done yet, and in this instance it really doesn't matter, so I think simplest is best. But of course, if you don't want to do that, that's up to you. What I do always do is standing stitches, because I think they just do look a lot neater. That's instead of doing 3 chains to start the next rounds of this granny square, I'm going to do a standing double crochet. So you start with a slip stitch on your hook, yarn over, pop your hook in there and pull it up, and then it's just as though you were doing a regular double crochet. It gives you a much neater start. It is a bit tricky the first time you do one of those, but it gets easier, and you will never go back to doing chains once you've learned the standing stitches. So that's standing double crochet, then 2 more double crochet, 2 chains for the corner, and 3 double crochet. Some people do 1 chain in the corner, some people might even do 3, I guess. This is just the way that I do it. I do 2 in the corners and 1 in the middle. So that's 1 chain, and then 3 double crochet again, 2 chain, 3 double crochet again. I hope this is turning out so that you can see it. Not sure. Maybe I should have my camera a bit. Actually, I'll have the camera lower next time. Maybe that would help because I can see a bit more clearly. Chain 1 and 3 double crochet, chain 2 for the corner, 3 double crochet, 1 for the side, 3 double crochet, chain 2 for the corner, 3 double crochet again, chain 1 for the side, and then you're just going to do your slip stitch join into the top of your standing double crochet. Then just snip. Oh, I usually would weave my ends in as well over that blue. I forgot to do it that time, but yeah, I would usually weave the ends in over the next color. It just gives you less to weave in at the end. And that's that. As you can see, it is a much neater join when you've done a standing stitch. Again, you can make that neater by doing more of a invisible join, but yeah, for these little granny squares, for this kind of blanket design, it really doesn't matter. So I'm annoyed now that I didn't weave in those ends. I will weave in the next ones. So again, we're going to do a standing double crochet. So slip stitch on the hook, yarn over, insert into the space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and there's your standing stitch. And then just the same again, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 1 for the side, 3 double crochet, chain 1. I'm just thinking, should I stop it now? But I think I'll finish it off. And then if you haven't done this before, you won't have to rewind again to see how it's done. You can just see it repeated whilst I've done 3 rounds. I personally don't like really long video tutorials. I like them just to be those few minutes that I need and just get to the point, but nor do I like them to be, you know, just 90 seconds and you're having to constantly rewind. So hopefully this strikes a nice balance, but you can let me know. And I am gonna crochet over those blue ends just to make it a bit easier. Because we've done those slip stitch joins and not invisible joins, they are extra secure because they do have a knot in them, both at the start of the standing double crochet and when we finish with that regular slip stitch join. So I'll probably just leave that as it is. I've just crocheted over with those 6 stitches and I think that'll be enough. I do always worry about ends coming undone, and I really don't know why I'm so paranoid about it, because I must have weaved in thousands upon thousands of ends in blankets over the years, and a lot of the blankets have been used by my kids for years or by the cat, and they've been through the washing machine and the tumble dryer so many times, and I've never had a single end out of all those thousands upon thousands come undone. But of course it would be a worse nightmare to spend all that time on a blanket and then find something unraveling, wouldn't it? Anyway, and now we're back to the beginning. So just through the top 2 loops of that standing double crochet. And I'm going to snip. And then, and there we have it. That's the next square. Let's pull that. Not sure if you can see that. That's going to pop in here. I think I will stop it now because I want to weave those ends in before. Oh, so you know what I've done? I wanted to show you how to do the join as you go for the granny, and I've started nattering and I haven't joined as I went. So I will show you all at once so I don't have to make another video. Okay, so I'm just going to unravel some of that and I'll show you now how to do the join as you go. This is so professional. So, alright, I hope this shows up alright under this camera because you do have to hook things around a little bit. So bear with me, this is getting long, isn't it? Anyway, you can give me your feedback and we'll see how we go. So I'm going to join this in here, in between these two. Let me just have a wee peek up here. You should be able to see that, okay. Alright, so I've just started as normal. You've seen me do all that. And then you get half your corner done. And then you're gonna put your hook through the corner of this other square and then just pull through a slip stitch, and that counts as your first chain. And then you're going to make another chain, so that's 2 chains, and then 3 double crochet to complete your corner. Now next you would be doing a single chain. Instead you're going to do a slip stitch through that space in the other chain, and then in the other square rather, and then you're going to 3 double crochet. And here again you would have a single chain, so instead, if I move my hands there, instead of doing that single chain, you're going to do a slip stitch into the chain space of the other square, and then you continue on to do this corner. I really wish I had got rid of those ends before we started this bit, but not to worry. Hopefully you can still see what's going on, and that's what matters. Okay, here, so at the corner you would usually do 2 single crochet, 2 chain stitches, but what we're going to do, I've got something to point with the pencil. What we're going to do, instead of the 2 chains for the corner, we're going to do 1 slip stitch into this corner here, into this chain space here, and then 1 slip stitch into this chain space here. So a bit fiddly, but once you get into the hang of it, it's super easy, and it's such a great join method. So that's the first slip stitch into that corner, then slip stitch into this corner, and then you're going to do your 3 double crochet there, so you can see this is all joining together nicely, and then slip stitch into that chain space and 3 double crochet again, and slip stitch into this space, 3 double crochet again, and we're off to a corner. So we want our 2 chain stitches again, but we only need to do 1 of them as a slip stitch because we're only joining to 1 other square, and I always do my join slip stitch first rather than the first chain first. I hope that makes sense. I don't think it really matters. I'm sure some people would do a chain here and then a slip stitch. For me, I just like to keep it all the same all the time, and my way of remembering is I think, okay, join securely first. So I do that slip stitch and then the chain, and that's just how I always do it. I'm just going to turn it around a bit. And hope you can still see it. Let's have a wee peek. We seem to have a lot of white space here. I'll get the hang of it. And so that's 3 double crochet there. Chain 1. 3 double crochet again. Chain 1, and then just a simple slip stitch join into the top of the standing double crochet, pull that round, and then we would neatly weave in the ends, and obviously it'll look a lot neater than that once it's all nice and neatly woven in. But there you go. I hope that's helpful to anyone that hasn't done this before. I'd love it if you would tell me if it's not helpful or what you think could be improved. What you do is you just pop these up like that, and you can see you get a lovely join. Yeah, if there's anything that I could do better or slower or whatever, please let me know. If you do use this little mini video tutorial and it's helpful to you, please let me know as well. And thank you to everyone that's joining in with the gratitude blanket. I'm really excited to start it up again. Again, it is a no pressure thing. If you skip a day, don't worry about it. If you've already made 20 on another project and you want to join in now, that's fine. If, like me, you've made one before or you're starting again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It's just to make that moment of quiet reflection in your day combined with our beloved yarn, and just to enjoy it. So that's actually my square from yesterday. I had a busy day in town yesterday. I actually went to get an injection, a steroid injection in my shoulder, which has been a bit busted. So my gratitude yesterday was for finally having that injection and hopefully to be pain-free in a couple of days completely. And right now, after I've figured out how to upload this video, I'm going to weave in those ends and I'm going to do today's little granny square. And yeah, that's that. So I wish you a lovely day or evening wherever you are with lots of lovely stitches in it, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.